Poison Tera bundle, I'm not a fan of that. That's probably not right. And then Fire Tera, Specs, Aurora Veil, Ninetales. Well, if I'm being completely honest here, there are a lot of things that I would change here. I feel like Encore on bundle only works if you have Protect, which you don't. So it's like the booster energy is basically wasted on that Mon, because like you bundles a Mon that even if you go for the Aurora Veil, you still die. So that's hard to use. This looks like a good example of a team that I'm not gonna say is too optimized, but like I feel like you're spreading yourself really, really thin. Bulk bundles probably even worse, because then you get outsped by the people that want to herp derp with fast flutters. So like you're cutting Protect on like a lot of your Mons, your Matcha Gotcha Mon, your bundle, your Ninetales. And then if you're playing it in an open team sheet, they see that you don't have Protect, and they just use that to like solve for X. They're like, cool, anytime that Mon's on the board, I can double into it. Doesn't matter what happens, I'm getting value. They can, and you're letting by not having Protect, you're opening up a flowchart for your opponent to initiate trades in a situation where Pokemon is different from other games. Like, we've been playing a lot of chess. Pokemon's different than chess in that chess, you can initiate trades, but there's always going to be like an even trade that happens at the end. With Pokemon, the person who initiates usually always wins, because they set the pace of play for the next 4 or 5 turns of the game, and then they're opening them. If you're initiating play with Pokemon, you're opening yourself up to getting more crits, more flinches, more things like that. So I think not having Protect on the Ninetales in the bundle make this really hard. That being said, you have all the tools you need here. I think this team's okay. It's just, I don't see how we actually have any real speed control either. Because like Icy Wind bundle's good, but they just go Torn, and then we're just like, I need an adult, you know? Yeah. I feel like that's what I mean by like Specs Veil. Like, I even used Specs Flutter with Perish Song, because I feel like there are reasons why you can like force your opponent to respect those options, but if those options are still shared on your other Mons, like if you would ever go for the Specs Veil, you then have to swap, which is a net loss of 2 turns for a not Light Clay Veil. I mean, I'm not seeing it. If you, like, I understand the only matchup that might be value would be something like against Sunroom, so you allow them to get the Trick Room, you set up the Veil with the Ninetales and swap. But then, like, if that's the case, like, I feel like you could just put Roar there, you know? Again, I don't want to try and be, like, harsh. The only reason why I'm even being this serious about it, because obviously we're going to win all the games we play anyways, is just because you said you were taking this to a tournament, and I'm trying to tell you, like, if I was playing this in a tournament, it would probably, I'd be excited to play something like this, because it doesn't have the speed control. It doesn't have the correct amount of like redirection / like things that threaten a board state. Would it be better to have Protect, Specs, Tails? Or Clay? I don't think you use Clay. So another thing here, this is actually another really important thing, right? I want you to take a look at something. This is really, really important. There's a good rule of thumb. Everyone can take this message and learn something. If you're ever using a defensive item on your team, the defensive items on this team are notably the Assault Vest, the Wiki Berry, the Leftovers, and the Sitrus Berry. So those are all saying like, hey, I don't want to die. I don't want to get, like, I don't want to take a ton of damage. I don't want to die, right? Those are what those items are saying. I'm saying these are items that are helping me not die, and you're not using your Focus Sash. The Focus Sash is the ultimate I do not want to die item, right? I'm not saying use a Sash, Iron Hands, but maybe like on the Sinistcha, on the Gyarados, there are a lot of situations where those things help you trade and initiate trades better than items like Defense Berries and other defensive items. Because what does Gyarados do in front of like a Regieleki? You're going to wish you had that Sash. Same thing for Sinistcha. Sinistcha is a much better Rage Powder user when it guarantee soaks 2 hits. And you might even be able to cut that Calm Mind for Trick Room if you had a Sash on that thing, so then you can enable more of a slower gameplay with like Volk, Iron Hand, Sinistcha, if you had a Sash, right? It's just my 2 cents. That being said, I'll play some games with this team, and we'll see how it does. I like Gyarados here. I feel if we can take out the Ogre Pawn, Volk is very good. So we can like cycle with Intimidate Gyarados. Note that like all the cool things we're talking about, like Intimidate cycling with Gyarados, using Volk to set up, restore health with Sinistcha, that's not even utilizing the Ninetales or the bundle, because I feel like both those mons are bricked. The bundle doesn't have Protect. Veil is absolutely useless because our mons are just going to get one-shotted by all those mons anyways in a hyper-aggressive thing. So their team's going to trade so well that it doesn't matter. Like, screens don't matter when your opponent's board is like Banded Arcanine and Crit Urshi and Shempao, right? So that's why like screens just aren't value in this format. I think the only way to really play screens in this format is something like Grim. So the things I'm looking at are going to be things like Gyarados, things like probably Volk, and then Sinistcha and Hands. And we're going to probably try and just Intimidate cycle, get 2 or 3 Intimidates up onto the things that aren't Urshi. When we see Urshi, we're probably going to be forced to Tera because our opponent is the one dictating so much play. And it'd be nice to be able to bring Ninetales, but again, we were talking about it. We do not have Protects, so these Pokemon can't like weave in or bait anything. They just are forced to trade. And if our opponent has faster Pokemon or Pokemon that have priority moves, we just lose the game. Right, so it's probably going to be a Banded Arcanine with Tailwind. And so we talked about this with Tailwind as well. The fact that like our opponent doesn't, the fact that like we don't have like Tailwind means that like we just kind of have to hold the L. And so what we're going to be doing here is protecting Volk and probably pivoting in Hands. This is going to maybe force a Tera on our opponent's Gyarados. But Hands is very, very good in this board state. And then next turn, we're going to cycle out that Gyarados for a second Intimidate on the Arcanine. Hopefully that's enough to not just lose the whole fucking game. Let's go. So like we said, we wanted to force this Tera here. Nice. So everything's going the way we want it to, but like, would you even say that this is amazing? I wouldn't. I want to see what they're going to do here. I don't mind Drain Munching that thing, so that's great. Bleak Windies. Come on, Brian. And we haven't even seen the EVs on this team yet. We were not given a paste. It's good block. Let's see if they double into the Gyarados. Are they Rock Sliding? Rock Slide, cool. We assume that they're banded. And they actually made a really, really good play by not clicking Tailwind. They didn't need to click Tailwind there, so that's actually really smart that they didn't. And because now they can set it whenever they feel like it. This turn, I'm going to hope that they don't have something good, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out into there. Bring back in the Gyarados, and the next turn after that, I'm probably going to swap in Sinistcha, restore health on Brian. Oh, really good play from our opponent there. They know that we're Intimidate cycling. Do you see how hard this is? Because we don't have adequate speed control or protect on our offensive mons. It's not impossible. It's not. But do you see like the lengths we have to go through? We haven't even been able to play the game yet, right? They've been dictating play this whole time. And it's really, really hard. We're just doing everything we can to keep our head above water. Rain Dance, that's actually good for us. Now, we don't know what kind of Goldango this is. Goldango could have Thunderbolt. That could be problematic. I'm going to protect. No, I'm going to actually just swap in Matcha Gotcha and go for just a Wild Charge into the Torn. I just want to get it off the board. We need to save the Gyarados to be able to check the Arcanine. That's literally what the whole game is going to come down to. We don't know if they're going to make it rain. We don't know if they're going to Thunderbolt. We do know that they're going to Bleak Wind, and this is where I was talking about that Sash would be pretty freaking nice to have. Bleak Wind, there it is. Okay, so we still didn't activate the item that we have anyways. Speed Drop, yo, nasty ball. Okay. This is fucking dangerous, bro. They have not clicked Tailwind yet. I would love to KO that thing. Oh my gosh. All right, we got shots in this game now. The fact they never set Tailwind means we might be able to somehow come in and get something done. Pace with EVs. Thank you. I will take a look at it. Because if your hands has a good spread, we got shots to win these games. Oh, that's a bad hand spread too. Okay. It's not like bad, but it's it needs to be optimized. Okay. This is rough. That Dango is about to pop Brian in the mouth. They're gonna Rock Slide. I'm thinking if I actually want to drain Munchy's Arcanine, if I even want to keep that guy around, or if I just want to Wild Charge to put the Gyarados within range for, sorry, the Goldingo within range for Gyarados, and I think that's a better play. This is where something like Protect would be kind of value, like kind of like a lot of it, and let's see what they even do. Pivot out the Arcanine. We're not swapping in that Gyarados yet. We cannot just let our Gyarados come in and die. No, I don't think full attack hands is ever good. I don't think it's good ever. I don't think that that's good ever. I did the right play, by the way. I did the only play that I think could have had any value. I got a full heal off on this guy. Come on, Brian. Yeah. See, like, even once you get one intimidated once, you just get turned off. So that Goldingo might now be within range for Gyarados, who has full speed Jolly, which I'm a big fan of here. So good stuff. I like what you're doing here. You've already used your Tera. Just gotta take the L, I think. It's fine. Don't a lot of hands now have a lot of speed investment? I put speed in my hands. I put about 44 points. This is so good. They're just not respecting Brian enough. This is where we're talking about that sash. See that sash that I said you should have? Definitely could have like had a value there. Nice. Okay, so you have a Swords Dance Mon. You have a Swords Dance Mon that's fast. He's a +1. I need more rain turns. This last turn rain 2. Fuck, this is really bad. We have to make a read. We have to make a read. I don't like that I have to make a read here. But we'll see. Oh, what? Oh, no. What is this guy doing, bro? He's not throwing, but like he's scaring the fucking shit out of me, bro. Okay. Yeah, dude, Brian's out here right now. Rain has now stopped. You have an Arcanine in the back that's going to get an Intimidate up. And we never got the Intimidate up on their Arcanine, so we just lose. Bad play. I have to do it. I have to get a Fake Out pin, and then they have to miss a Rock Slide. And then if we can KO the Ogre Pawn, hands 1v1s the Arcanine. Because they're going to have to walk in a Rock Slide. So they have to miss Rock Slide, though. Fucking bonk. Okay. This is going the only way that we need it to go. What move are you walking into? Rock Slide. Okay. Yep. Chat. Do they respect Fake Out? Do they put some respect on Brian hands? Really actually making this play. Fake Out the Banded Arcanine? Dragon Dance on their Spiky Shield? They can't E-Speed, they're banded. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. This is the only... I'm so behind in tempo. Whoa! Bruh. Let's go. All right, we're at neutral. Holy shit. Gaming, boys. Don't leave home without it. You gotta hit a double spiky shield. If you hit the double spiky shield, I can lose. You never fake out Ogre there? I mean, it was our only shot, you know? Well, no, I could have fake outed Ogre. My Gyarados might outspeed their Arcanine because we're jolly, right? Might. 90 base speed versus, this should went for double spiky shield. 90 base speed on the Arcanine versus 81 on Gyarados. But you don't fake, I agree, you don't fake out Ogre. Woo! Game, boys and girls. You can rock slide these all you want. Brian don't care. I mean, he does care. It hurts his feelings, but that's about it. Let's go, Brian. Let's go. Oh my gosh, you see how freaking hard that is? Do you see how hard that is? It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't. Oh my gosh. But almost every change that I talked about did come into play in that game. We would have been in a better position. Whew. That's rough. King Gambits are black glasses, right? Right now, usually. Ninetales Mirror. You don't lead Brian here. Does this bundle have Hydro? It does. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so in this game, I'm actually going to do the thing. Definitely doing the thing in this game. And then you got to bring Brian. And then Volk. I don't think Volk's that great into a lot of those. It looks like it could be okay into like Heatran, but I don't really like it versus Lando. I think you need the Gyarados, but Gyarados is still so hard to play here. The answer is probably Sinistcha. If it was Sash, I'd bring Sinistcha, but it's not. I'll bring the Volk. It's fine. We can follow me away the Ogre Pawn. All right. Oh, let's go. Ninetales Heatran. Alright, so there's 50-50 machines that happen here. Chat. Is this going to be no Tera Heatran, Grass Tera Heatran, or Berry Tera Heatran? That's the question. That is the question. Could you Blizzard Hydro? I definitely could. Yeah. But if it's grass, it's Fairy Tera, we lose. Am I doing that? Am I really clicking this? No, I don't think Ninetales needs Icy Wind. I don't think so. Cool. You'd Encore the Tails. Next turn, if I had Protect, I'd think about it. It is Fairy Tera, which means I did the right play. And just ignored it for the most part. If I freeze it, I freeze it. There's no screens. That's the thing, is like, you still would never set a screen here. Why would I ever even set a screen here? There's no reason to, right? I don't get anything for doing it. They want a speed tie on there, right? No, we didn't. Actually, we're not full speed. That's not even a speed tie. Yeah, so like, why would I ever set a screen in this situation? What does a screen get me? A screen that's not even 7 or 8 turns, right? I don't get anything out of it. Like, I lose the Ninetales, but like, I didn't want the Ninetales on the board. It's slower than all the other ones. So this is why like screens aren't good. They don't get you anything you wouldn't like already have, in my opinion. We just bring up Volk here. And then if I had Protect on Bundle, I'd probably go for it, but I don't, which means I have to swap. I could set a screen this turn, and then maybe try and Condition Protect. I guess I'll do that. But it's not like, it's not good, you know? There's no, screens just aren't value in these games, in my opinion. And we're going to set up a game for Brian to win. Yeah, your team needs to be like built around them, and just like Grim would just be a better screener than like all the other stuff you're trying to do here. I'd love a miss on Bulk. Yes, please, TY. Yeah. So we can Encore that. Let's see if the Heatran does a bad move, like a Flash Cannon. I'd Encore that. Go Tera Blast or something in a Volk? I don't know. Heat Wave? Damn. Alright. Oof. Alright, so bundles down. It is time for hands. Brian, mess them up. Show them the door. Deliver the French toast. Alright, so we have Heat Wave and Struggle Bug. I just want to make sure. That's fine. Who do we want to go after? Yeah. They're probably going to swap out their Ninetales. Oh, see, there's the Protect. See, if we had Protect on bundle, we'd be weaving those Protects in, clicking that Encore. They actually did a really good job of playing around Encore, so good stuff from them. They're going to get a, what is it? Sorry, a speed drop on our Volk here. I don't think it's the end of the world. We should actually still outspeed their Heatran and can KO it next turn. And then next turn, we're going to go for a Struggle Bug. Oh, I forgot they didn't get a speed. We made the right fake out target. Yes, value. Cool, we just get the KO then. And if they want to pivot, they can pivot, but it's okay. So Struggle Ball, finish off their Ninetales. And Heavy Slam doesn't KO their Heatran, but it might. Struggle these. Cool. Crit the Ninetales. I'll take it. They have a Reflect up. They're an Aurora Veil. So what do they still have in the back? Like, we don't have, like, an amazing board state. Yes, we have an extra turn on Aurora Veil than they do. Oh, Brian. Come on. Come on, Brian. You got a special attack drop, and I got a screen. No crits. No crits. Cool. Brian holds. Brian busted. I think that's why people are using Fairy Tera Heatran. It's just for, like, that to check Brian. But, like, we're in a good enough spot here. Would Grim Torn be a good replacement for Tails Bundle? Torn's good. Grim's good. They don't really go together. You don't need screens. So mitigating damage is not the way to play this format right now. Right? That's my opinion. Death Mastermind, my wonderful wife. She's subscribed. It's been 2 years. 2 years. My wonderful wife has finally dropped the big sub. Can we put some subs up for my wonderful wife who just got off work? I'd appreciate it if you guys did. Let's put the sub up. Let's get the Struggle Bug. I'll just Wild Charge this guy. No, wait, that's, they already Terra'd. I guess it's better just to Drain Punch then. Thank you. Congrats on the wedding. Yes, thank you. We're going to go Dragon Tera so we don't just lose to, Water Pond. And let's see what happens here. See what happens here. Spiky Shield. Oh, they're trying to break Brian. Congrats both on the wedding. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we just got married last week, so it's been wonderful, magnifique so far. We're still super tired from Iceland, but doing our best. So the Water Pond is active. Let's see. What are we going to do against Water Pond? We have Dragon Tera Volk on the board. That's so clean looking. And what is the last mon? What do you guys think their last mon is? Let's see. They were Light Clay Ninetales, so they have an extra Aurora Veil turns than we do. What do we think it is? Coco? Bro. King Gambit coming in hot. Yo, it's time for a Heat Wave. A ticket to a better night's sleep. Yeah, I definitely think it's like a Heat Wave turn. Heat Wave plus Drain Punch into the Gambit. If you want to redirect, like, this is fine. What are you going to do? Hit the Volk? Get Burnarino'd? Are the Volk and Gyarados set up correctly? You could EV train them all a little bit differently, but they're good mons. We're going to burn this with a Heat Wave. Watch. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Let's go. Heat Wave. Burn it. Burn it. Never lucky. Hands. Oh, they crit us. Unlucky, bro. Bro, that's so unlucky. That's so unlucky. It is unlucky. I didn't lie. They crit us through a screen. That's why screens suck. I can't tell you anymore. Like, screens just don't work in this meta. Like, you got Urshifus. You got all the ogres. Like, screens just, And then we miss. Yes. Yes, value miss. Can I get a burn to make up for it? Never lucky. And then more damage. That's so much. And then no swarm. Not Swarm. No Flame Body, huh? There's my Flame Body. All right, so hopefully that game just goes to show that, like, screens as a playstyle just do not really work in this format. At least in my opinion, they really just don't work. It's not about, like, mitigating damage when you can't match the same aggression levels as your opponent. They were the ones that tried to trade, and we could not match their levels of aggression, and we just died. This team has Fake Out, so we have to play it a little bit differently. This is where Poison Tera bundle would be much better off as Ghost Tera if we had that option. I don't think there's anything wrong with bringing hands in the back. I also don't think there's anything wrong with leading... This looks really weird, but you actually can lead Gyarados into Melodic. I think that's hard to see, but, like, Melodic can't do that much into you. But I don't think we need to. I don't think you bring Volk in this matchup. Bundle's hard to get value out of. Bundle's so hard to get value out of here. Do you see how pinned we are? Like, they have a base 135 mon with a Fake Out, and we are unable to play the game. But let's go hands. You can go hands Volk, but then we have no pivots. We're baiting in Rock Slides at that point. So we have to go hands Gyarados, and that's a really hard lead to come back from. And then we go Ninetales, and then, like, I guess we're going bundle, but, like, do you see how pinned we are in this whole board state? It's, like, damn near... If they lead correctly, there's nothing that we can do about it. So we're making them have to play the game correctly, utilize their Fake Outs correctly, utilize the fact that, like, Scarf Line outspeeds our whole team other than our bundle, and then they can Fake Out that slot, and we can't do anything about it because we don't have Protect, and we don't have Ghost Tera, and if we switch, we lose our Speed Boost, which is actually what gets us over the Lando. So we stay in and die, or we switch and die. Both of them lead to a death because we also don't have anything that can swap in on Rock Attacks, right? Other than Hands, who's already on the board because we need to have Hands to not lose. So that's the lead that we don't want to fight against, but at least we get the double Intimidate off. The other variant would have been like Rilla Melodic or Orlando Melodic, so at least we get an Intimidate trade. And this should make it so Hands isn't just gonna die, but, like, do you see how hard it is, right? So that's the thing, is, like, you can't just add one mon. Like, you need to have exact roles for all of your mons and how they interact with each other, right? It's not a simple factor of, like, changing out one or two things, in my opinion. We're going to double swap here. Bundle on this side, and then Ninetales on this side, and we're going to hopefully lock them into a Stomping Tantrum. And then have the ability to swap out and utilize the fact that we have the defense boost. They can just click Rock Slide. Ain't no one saying they can't. They can also just click U-Turn. It's a great play here. I can't stop that. But this play does mitigate the most amount of damage and gives us the best shot at pinning with a Blizzard that we could ever get. So let's see what we got. There's the Fake Out. Correct. It's a good Fake Out target too. There's the U-Turn. Perfect. So this is... We can't ask for anything more. But, like... Do you see how hard this is for us? They're just going to bring that Lando back out. Right. Want to see what's Flutter? T-Tar. Even better for them. We can't do, like, anything about that. But we have a couple ideas. So we're going to be able to just lose. Right? This is where, you know what would be a really good move in this turn? A really good move? It's called Protect, you know? It's a pretty good move in this situation. Yeah, because now we just get, like, Grassy Glide spam. And now we got to double pivot back, and then they just pivot back in their Lando, and then we lose. Right? And then we lose our booster, because we're going to lose that. We have to click this button, and I do not want to. I do not want to click this button, but we have to. It sucks. And you can't Encore, because they're just going to Grassy Glide. If we could weave in Protects here, though, we'd have a much better shot. We'd be able to Protect bundle, pivot in. Cool. This is Lando. That's greedy. It's Lando. That's super greedy, because, like, you can't swap it. That's greedy. That's a misplay. So the fact they're playing this greedy means we might be able to take some advantages a little bit later in the match. Because, like, you can't just swap out the Ice Weak Rilla for something that's still Ice Weak. If you lose your pivot Lando, we can probably win. But we had to go Ghost. We had to go Poison Tera there to stop the Grassy Glide. Otherwise, Grassy Glide plus Rock Slide takes us out. Nice. I hope it's not Policy T-Tar. I mean, what else could I possibly do, right? Thank God, no Policy. Awesome. So the fact that we still outspeed that land was good. Alright, they're going to swap in. They are going to swap in Rillaboom. And I'm going to go for the Aurora Veil this turn. I guess I could just Icy Wind them. And Fake Out. That's a good play. This powers up the Stomping Tantrum, though, if I got the Lando. It's fine. What? Hard swap Lando? Never lucky, bro. Ah! Good play. Holy fucking Heatran. We're gonna pop that, though. Double swap. Wow. Okay. Note that I did not swap my Ninetales in there, because we don't have to just yet. If you bring in the Ninetales on the T-Tar and take away its boost, Blizzard does a lot. So Air Balloon busted. This is actually going to make the Heatran get value from the Grassy trade now, which kind of sucks. Icy Wind happens here. Alright, so I'm looking at this board state. Who do you fake out? Who are you clicking fake out on? Bundle? Bundle has Hydro Pump into the Heatran. They haven't turned their Tera yet. Sitrus roll out. I mean, you just gotta play a lot of games. That's the best way to find the holes, right? But let's see. What do we need to do here? Because Hans looks super intimidated. We're faster than them with this Hans. Oh. You're gonna Heat Wave. You're gonna click Heat Wave. We know you're gonna click Heat Wave. Click your Heat Wave. Fine, keep your secrets. Yeah, click Heat Wave. Fake out Hands, click Heat Wave. I don't wanna take that. I'm gonna force your Tera though. Nice. Yep. I outsped you. Alright, don't burn me. Don't burn with the Heat Wave. Don't do it. That's great. That's freaking amazing. Cool. No burn. Okay. $15.90 hours. Wow, that's a lot. Oh, this is so weird looking, but it's the only play I have. I need another fake out. I should protect my Gyarados this turn. Battle's canceled. I'll take those wins. We made them have to pivot correctly, and they didn't want to. But the changes that I talked about were really important. So they were kind of pinned there in that they had to swap. And I was planning on catching the T-Tar when they brought the T-Brack in, switching back our Ninetales, setting in Aurora Veil, and then pivoting out the Gyarados and repinning the Landorus. It was about 3 turns in advance. Maybe I should have been talking a little bit more. But this team is okay. I want you to understand that this team is okay. There's nothing really wrong with it. But when you're playing this team in like a tournament setting in best of 3 open team sheet, your opponent can see what mons have protect, what your items are, what your Teras are, and basically a good player can just use that to like solve for X. They'd be like, cool, you can't protect. So if I can hit that slot with 2 mons that are faster and deal at least neutral damage to it, you either A, lose the mon that's getting hit, or B, you pivot into something and that mon either takes too much or gets killed as well, because the team doesn't have that good of defensive switch-ins, being that most of these mons either take neutral or super effective damage from something like Rock, which is super popular. Randos is like the third most popular Pokemon in the format. It makes playing a team like this really, really hard, and you have to significantly outplay your opponent to actually make it work. So that being said, if we were to go take a look at the rental code one more time, the things that I would change would be something like, you can keep Gyarados and you can keep Volk, right? But you need better forms of speed control. And that could be something as simple as adding like a Tornadus. But then like from there, you'd be like, well, what would you have a Tornadus? Something like an Urshifu, like an Urshi Water? Or at that point, like, why are you using a Gyarados? You know, and then the team whole changes because you would cut the Gyarados for an Urshi. And then like Urshi, Gyarados, Volk. Why are you using a Volk? Why don't you choose a Fire Ogre Pond? You kind of see where we're going. If you were to add better mons, the weaker, more reactive mons have to change as well. So it's like Gyarados is good, but it's reactive. Volcarona's good, but it's reactive. This Iron Bundle is very reactive on a mon that shouldn't be reactive. The Ninetales itself is a very aggressive version on a mon that should be more reactive. So it's like these mons have like a case of misidentity. In the Sinistcha, I don't think that Wiki Fairy's doing any favors. Calm Mind does not really help on like the Matcha Gotcha thing, because like you're never really going to get any value out of that, and you'd still be better off a Sash. I would say Iron Hands is good. Gyarados is good, Volk is good, but then you need like other mons to like weave in to make the whole rest of the team work. You might want to try adding a Landorus in here so you can double Intimidate cycle. You might want to think about maybe adding Tornadus or another form of speed control. Hell, you might just want to put like Tailwind on your Volk instead of like a setup move. I don't think the Sinistcha is actually helping that much because it shares a lot of the same weaknesses. It shares the same weakness to fire that all these mons have. It shares a weakness to... I mean, it gets killed by Landorus. That's the thing, is every one of these Pokemon, all of them, Landorus gives the D, right? Landorus, it's not that great against Ninetales, but it outspeeds you. And if you Fire Tear, you're dead. Same thing if you bundle Poison Tear, you're dead. Gyarados gets Intimidate cycled. Volk gets Rock Slid. Sinistcha gets Tera Blast flying. Brian gets absolutely Stomping Tantrum into the ground, right? So it's like... And if he tears, he gets Tera Blasted. So it's like, I feel that you need a better matchup for Landorus while being able to dictate and trade play versus Landorus. That's why you see people using like Scarf Urshi to trade with those Landoruses. And if you're going to be using more like Scarf Urshi, Torn, you know, Ogre, the team completely changes. So that being said, I don't know exactly where you're going to take the team from here, but it's okay. I would try making the movesets on these mons a little bit more reined in. So your Gyarados, the reason why Gyarados works is because you have a very basic moveset. You're full attack, full speed, jolly, and that's why Gyarados is the best Pokemon on your team, because you're not trying to do too much with it. Your Volk, probably the third best Pokemon on your team, you're not trying to do too much. You have a setup set, just like your Gyarados. Your Iron Hands, you have a little bit too much attack on it. It's full attack, which it doesn't need to be, but it's the second or first best Pokemon on your team because it just does what Hands does. The Sinistcha is trying to do way too much without Protect. The Bundle's trying to do way too much Encoring without Protect to actually bait the moves that you need to Encore in. So you need to just, on the Bundle set, go Hydro, Icy Wind, Protect, Encore, or Hydro, Icy Wind, Blizzard, Protect. I don't think you need Encore on it at all. Make it a Ghost Terror as well so you can avoid those fake outs, or at least bait your opponent into going for those fake outs, and then you decide. You have the power there. Ninetales, again, it's okay, but I would just sash it if you were even going to do anything with it, and just go Blizzard. You don't need Veil. Dazzling Loom's okay, but Freeze Dry's okay. I usually go Blizzard, Freeze Dry, Encore, Protect to my Ninetales. That's what I like. And those basic sets will give you an understanding of how these monsters are supposed to be played. So then from there, if you realize like, man, Ninetales just like sucks, well then replace it. You know, just use a different Sashmon or put a Flutter Mane there or something like that. So hopefully these changes help. And yeah, thank you for sharing the team with us.